Are you tired of making excuses and procrastinating on achieving your goals? In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful ways to eliminate excuses and embrace action, drawing inspiration from the profound teachings of Buddhism. 1. Challenge your beliefs, not just your habits. The first step in eliminating excuses is to challenge your beliefs. Often, our excuses are not just about habits or behaviors, they are deeply tied to our beliefs. These beliefs shape how we see the world and how we perceive our abilities. Many of us hold limiting beliefs that tell us we're not good enough, capable enough, or worthy of success. These beliefs are often formed in childhood or through past experiences. They become so ingrained in our minds that we don't even question them. In Buddhism, one of the key teachings is that the mind can be a powerful tool for transformation. However, the mind can also trap us in cycles of negative thinking. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment to our thoughts and beliefs. This means that when we believe something about ourselves, whether it's that we are not capable or that success is out of reach, we become attached to that belief and it limits our potential. To eliminate excuses, we must begin by challenging these beliefs. This can be difficult, as it often requires us to confront deep-seated fears and doubts. But Buddhism encourages us to approach this with compassion. Instead of criticizing ourselves for holding limiting beliefs, we can recognize them as part of the human experience. The Buddha often taught that our thoughts and beliefs are not permanent. They are simply clouds in the sky of our consciousness. Just as clouds pass, so can our limiting beliefs. To challenge your beliefs, take a moment to ask yourself, why do I believe this about myself? Look at the evidence in your life. Is this belief truly supported by your experiences, or is it something you've simply accepted without question? Buddhism encourages self-reflection and mindfulness. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can begin to see that many of our beliefs are simply stories we've told ourselves. Once we recognize these stories, we can choose to rewrite them. Start replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of believing you are not capable, affirm that you have the strength and ability to overcome challenges. Instead of thinking success is out of reach, remind yourself that success is a result of consistent effort and learning. When you challenge your beliefs, you open the door to new possibilities and give yourself the power to take action. 2. Turn procrastination into a game of now or never. Procrastination is one of the most common forms of making excuses. We often tell ourselves, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'm not ready yet." The habit of putting things off can prevent us from achieving our goals and creating the life we want. In Buddhism, the concept of impermanence is central to understanding the importance of living in the present moment. The Buddha taught that everything in life is constantly changing, and nothing lasts forever. This includes the time we have to accomplish our goals. One of the most powerful tools to overcome procrastination is to turn it into a game of now or never. The idea is simple: there is no perfect moment to start. Waiting for the right time can lead to endless delays. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, take action now. Buddhism teaches that the present moment is the only moment we truly have. If we spend all our time waiting for tomorrow or worrying about the future, we miss the opportunity to act in the present. By adopting a now or never mindset, we can break free from procrastination. When we think, "I'll do it later," we delay our progress and reinforce the habit of inaction. But when we approach tasks with the mindset that now is the only time I have, we create a sense of urgency and motivation. It's not about rushing or forcing ourselves to act out of pressure. It's about recognizing that every moment is precious. The Buddha's teachings emphasize mindfulness, which means being fully present in whatever we do. Whether we're working on a project, having a conversation, or simply taking a walk, mindfulness reminds us to be engaged with the present moment. When we bring mindfulness into our work and daily activities, procrastination becomes less appealing. The more we practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to take action without hesitation. Start small by setting clear goals for what you want to accomplish and giving yourself a limited time frame to act. This could be as simple as deciding to work on a task for 10 minutes, knowing that every moment counts. Over time, you'll build the habit of taking action immediately, without waiting for the perfect conditions to appear. By turning procrastination into a game of now or never, you can begin to make meaningful progress toward your goals. 3. Detach from your identity as a procrastinator. Many of us identify with our habits. If you've been procrastinating for a long time, you might think of yourself as a procrastinator. This identity can be difficult to shake, but it's essential to break free from it in order to take action. Buddhism teaches that attachment to our identity is a source of suffering. When we cling to a particular identity, whether it's as a procrastinator, a failure, or any other label, we limit our growth and potential. The Buddhist teachings emphasize non-attachment. In the context of procrastination, this means detaching from the belief that you are a procrastinator. This belief is just a thought, not your true self. It's important to recognize that you are not your habits. Habits are learned behaviors that can be changed, and they don't define who you are at the core. When you detach from the identity of a procrastinator, you give yourself permission to change. You no longer have to be stuck in a cycle of delay and avoidance. Instead, you can adopt a new identity, someone who takes action and moves forward. Buddhism encourages us to cultivate a sense of self-compassion and mindfulness. When we make a mistake or fall back into old habits, we don't have to be hard on ourselves. We can simply observe the behavior without judgment and choose to act differently in the future. To detach from the identity of a procrastinator, start by recognizing that procrastination is a habit, not a permanent part of who you are. Whenever you catch yourself procrastinating, don't label yourself as a procrastinator. Instead, remind yourself that this is just a behavior, and you have the power to change it. Through mindfulness and awareness, you can begin to shift your identity to one that is more aligned with action and progress. 4. Visualize the pain of regret, not the fear of failure. Fear of failure is another major obstacle that keeps us stuck in excuses. We often avoid taking action because we are afraid of making mistakes or failing. This fear can be paralyzing, but Buddhism offers a powerful remedy. Instead of focusing on the fear of failure, focus on the pain of regret. The Buddha taught that suffering is an inevitable part of life, but we can choose how to respond to it. The suffering of regret is much more painful than the temporary discomfort of failure. In Buddhism, there is a practice called reflection on the consequences, where we reflect on the potential outcomes of our actions. This helps us make wiser decisions. When we avoid taking action out of fear, we may experience regret later on. This regret can be much more painful than the fear of failure we feel in the moment. By visualizing the pain of regret, we can motivate ourselves to take action. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing that you didn't pursue your dreams because you were too afraid of failing. This feeling of regret can linger and weigh heavily on your heart. Buddhism teaches that one of the causes of suffering is attachment to the past. When we regret missed opportunities, we are clinging to a past that cannot be changed. But by visualizing the pain of regret, we can break free from this attachment and choose to act in the present moment. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, focus on what you stand to lose if you don't take action. When you visualize the regret of missed opportunities, it becomes easier to push past your fear and take the first step. Buddhism teaches that life is short and precious. Every moment is an opportunity to grow and move forward. When you focus on the potential pain of regret, you'll find the strength to take action, no matter how afraid you may feel. 5. Turn every obstacle into a new opportunity. Obstacles are a natural part of life. No matter how hard we try, we will face challenges. However, Buddhism teaches that obstacles are not something to fear or avoid. Instead, they are opportunities for growth and learning. The Buddha faced many obstacles during his journey to enlightenment, but he viewed each challenge as an opportunity to deepen his understanding and practice. In life, we often make excuses when faced with obstacles. We might tell ourselves that the situation is too difficult or that we don't have the resources to overcome the challenge. But Buddhism teaches us to shift our perspective. Every obstacle is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. When you encounter an obstacle, instead of viewing it as a roadblock, see it as an opportunity to learn something new. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can this challenge help me grow? By reframing obstacles as opportunities, you create a mindset that embraces growth and transformation. This is the true essence of Buddhism, seeing every situation as an opportunity to practice wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. To turn obstacles into opportunities, start by cultivating a mindset of gratitude. When you face a challenge, instead of complaining or feeling defeated, find something to be grateful for. Perhaps the obstacle is teaching you patience, perseverance, or creativity. By changing the way you view obstacles, you'll begin to see that every challenge is simply a stepping stone on the path to your greater self. Buddhism offers powerful wisdom for eliminating excuses and embracing action. By challenging your beliefs, turning procrastination into a game of now or never, detaching from your identity as a procrastinator, visualizing the pain of regret, and turning obstacles into opportunities, you can break free from the habit of making excuses and start taking meaningful action toward your goals. Remember, the path to success is not a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and challenges. But with the teachings of Buddhism as your guide, you can navigate this path with clarity, wisdom, and unwavering determination.